A feature that's new in Scala 3 is that functions can be defined outside of classes and objects and traits. And we call these top-level functions. And I'll show you what this means. So here I just have a file and I've named it toplevel.scala, which you can see up here at the top. And what I'm going to do is just define a function like usual. And the only difference is that it's not contained in something else. It's not contained in a class or a trait or an object. So I'll just call this print hello, something simple like that. And it'll take a parameter and we'll call that name, and it'll be a string. It won't return anything, so we give it the unit return type. And then here, I just do a print line, and I will say hello $name. So now that we have a function that's not contained in something else, let's go ahead and create a Scala 3 main method to go ahead and run this. So I'll just create a main method, and I'll call this one just hello. It's good enough for now. And I'll say equals. And oops, I forgot we need to get the parameter. I want to get the parameter from the command line. Clear, I'll just call that command line name is a string. So now I'm expecting a string when the user runs this program. And then all I'll do is pass that into the print hello function. Oops, I will correct that and do that. And so that's actually the complete application. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Then I'll go over here to the command line. And you can see now I'm in a directory where I have this file. And I can run that with Scala CLI like this, toplevel.scala. And I need to pass it a command line parameter. And to do that with Scala CLI, you do that special incantation right there. Then you type in the parameter. So then I will put in my name. And there you see it. And again, the only thing I'm trying to show is that this guy right here is a top level function. You can also have top level values. So you could say something like val, let's call this a count. And we'll say 3. We'll set that to 3. Then I will require that print hello accepts this value. And we'll call up here, we'll call it number of times. And we'll say that one's an int. So then I'll say for I in number of times do print that statement right there. So then I just come down here and I change print hello. So now I want to use the count value here. And again, the only thing I'm trying to show is that this first one is a top level function, and you call this one a top level value. So I will save that, come over here and run that again. And I'm thinking about too many things, so this should be I, 1, 2. So you can read that as an I in 1 to 3. Go ahead and do that. And there we go. So I'm sorry, just had a few too many things in my mind. But if you haven't seen this before, this creates a range. So that's basically, you can read this as saying, for I in 1, 2, 3, do this expression over here. And that assumes, of course, that the value is 3. So actually, you would read it as for I in 1 to num times do this over here. But getting back to the point, this is a top level function. That's a top level value. Neither one has to be contained in a class, trait, or an object. They can be up here at this top level. And again, this is new in Scala 3. In Scala 2, both of these guys had to be contained inside of something else. So that means inside of a class, trait, or an object. But in Scala 3, they're free to be on their own.